to Module 2, where you will be looking at the Superintendency and Human Resources Management. Just a reminder that this is an SU course code, so there are aspects of the superintendency that will be covered in the course. Just a reminder that one of the objectives of the course was to identify foundational learning objectives, knowledge, and skills required for all students seeking superintendent certification. And in Module 2, in one of the course content areas, you will find a link to the manual and resource guide for the Texas Superintendency. The superintendent for Texas has standards that they should apply to. And what I have highlighted here in yellow is just the common expectation for superintendents as far as standards. I have highlighted there in red how it aligns with our course. Overall, Standard 1 is to have learner-centered values and ethics of leadership. Standard 2, learner-centered leadership and school district culture. Standard 3, learner-centered human resources leadership and management. Standard 4, learner-centered policy and governance. Standard 5, learner-centered communications and community relations. Standard 6, learner-centered organizational leadership and management. Standard 7, learner-centered curriculum planning and development. And Standard 8, learner-centered instructional leadership and management. What they have done is to take all the superintendent standards and combine them to where they are into 3 domains. So when we look at the Texas Superintendency, you will see that it's divided into domains and competencies. Domain 1 is the leadership of the educational community. Domain 2 is instructional leadership. And Domain 3 is administrative leadership. And again, they have taken the standards for the superintendency and added them into the 3 domains. Domain 1 is leadership of the educational community, has 4 competencies. I have highlighted here things that would be applicable to our course in human resources. Domain 2 on instructional leadership, competencies 5 through 7. Please read. Again, the highlighted competency 7 is in direct alignment with human resources. Superintendent, Domain 3, Administrative Leadership, has competencies 8, 9, and 10. Please read. Again, competency 8 is in direct alignment with our course in human resources. It specifically even says personnel. Just a quick review again of the human resources functions of planning, recruitment, selection, placement, induction and mentoring, professional development, performance evaluation, compensation, and collective bargaining and due processes. The superintendent has a say-so, a hand, and knowledge of all areas of human resources functions. Let's look at this a little closer. The Texas Superintendent and Human Resources Management. Domain 1, Competency 2 talks about culture, climate, and vision. And when you go to review the manual handbook that's in Module 2, you will see the descriptors for each of the competencies as well. One of the descriptors for Competency 2 is to implement strategies for involving all stakeholders in planning processes and facilitating planning between constituencies. Domain 2, Competency 7, Performance Evaluation and Professional Development. That descriptor is to implement effective strategies for the recruitment, selection, induction, development, evaluation, and promotion of staff. Domain 3, Competency 8, Personnel. One of the descriptors is to apply knowledge of legal requirements associated with personnel management, including requirements relating to recruiting, screening, selection, evaluating, disciplining, reassigning, and dismissing personnel. If you reflect on these descriptors, they are all in direct alignment with the functions of human resources. What I'm going to show you on the next couple of slides are example test questions from the Superintendent Texas State exam so that you can see how they word and how they use human resources in some of the questioning on the exam. Please take a few minutes to read. This was just an example of one of the questions. There are artifacts and supporting data that go along with these two questions, but I just wanted to show you how they specifically ask questions based on human resources functioning. Here is another example. And another example. This slide talks about the actual Texas Superintendent Texas exam. It is called the Superintendent Test Code 195. You're given 5 hours to take the exam. There are 110 multiple choice questions. These multiple choice questions can include single set questions, cluster questions, case study questions, and questions that include documents, artifacts, and data to be considered in your responses. The exam is divided into the 3 domains, well, splattered throughout the exam. All 3 domains are covered: 40% from Domain 1, 30% from Domain 2, and 30% from Domain 3. This is a computer-administered test. Now, I know some of you may be thinking that I do not want to be a superintendent. I do not have the qualifiers to go the superintendent route, or maybe even I'm not in the state of Texas. However, this is a degree in education executive leadership. This is a degree in leadership. So all of the competencies, domains, and standards expected of the superintendent in Texas are just good all-around leadership skills and abilities that will be beneficial to you in learning and studying in this program. Good luck.